Welcome back to another episode. I am Sticks. This is my best friend and co-host D-Lo, and we are Too Complex. Back for another week of complex topics. But before we get into the content, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and of course, hit that notification bell so you miss none of these bangers
Yes,
that we drop every single week. D-Lo, we back for another one, man. The week was eventful for me, but how was it for you?
No.
I ain't gonna say it was eventful.
You can't do that and then try to slide it over to me so I can give you the boring stuff, and then you seem so exciting. Go ahead, bro. Talk about it.
It wasn't an exciting week, but of course, everybody in the audience know who watches the full version of the episodes that I started a new job back in October. And this week started.
They might not have known that you alluded to it, but we didn't quite come out and say it. You know what I mean?
Got you. Yeah. But yeah, if they've been following us for a while, they know. So this week they started what they call Academy for the company. Academy starts at 10 a.m. Eastern time.
Okay.
Which means that's 7 a.m. my time. Yeah. I've had to drive to Seattle. I had to wake, and opposed to waking up at 5:45, 6 o'clock to get there by 8:30. I've had to wake up at 4:30 to get there by 7. Bruh, this week has been long as bruh. Like,
I got you.
Talk about, man, and being gone, and the academy lasts all day. So imagine being out your house from maybe 5:30 in the morning to like 7 o'clock at night. Every day for a week, bruh. And then the traffic is
Well, I'm sure at 4:30 in the morning, 5 o'clock,
it's not crazy, but downtown Seattle is always busy. So once you get into downtown Seattle, you're gonna hit traffic no matter where you are down there. But bruh, but traffic at 5 in the evening, leaving down. Oh my God,
yeah,
it's insane. So, but that's how my week has basically been. But it was eventful in a sense of course, I learned more about the company and I was able to gain some perspective of how they want me to sell the company. So that was eventful for me. That was basically my week. Of course, got Sam here, so we're gonna have fun this weekend and we're gonna kick it. And I'm gonna do the daddy thing like I always do. But other than that, that was my week, man. D-Lo, what was your week like, bro?
My week was nothing like that. My week,
I'm happy for you, bro.
Yeah. My week was nothing like that. But I mean, I don't do much. So all I do is work and do stuff for the pod, spend time with the family. I mean, me and the wife went on a date last night. We're taking the kids. We're taking the kids to. They don't know. Well, Daylon may have an idea, but he's not going to remember. Yeah. Taking them to go see some dinosaur museum or event. He loves dinosaurs. We're going to see how much he loves dinosaurs. Actually, loves dinosaurs because they're supposed to be life size, so they're going to be way bigger. And he has little dinosaur toys, but and he kind of is scared of everything. So I'm interested to see when he actually sees a dinosaur that's way bigger than what he expects, how he acts.
See, but other than that, I got pride in I got pride in nephew, man. He gonna be gangster.
I mean, when you a baby, you scared of everything. You just don't know.
Yeah, but he gonna
most babies.
But you gotta tell me because I'm a clown him. I ain't gonna lie, I'm a clown this little 2-year-old.
It is what it is. I'm a clown. I'm like, man, if you don't get your ass,
get your ass. Yeah.
But I mean, he take after his daddy. I don't like scary stuff, so. I was never scared of dinosaurs and stuff like that, but scary movies, we've had this conversation before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I love them. Yeah. That's my shit. I like it.
Yeah. But I mean, other than that, nothing crazy. I will say though, I hate election years.
Yeah.
I can't stand election years because it's when everybody get all pissy and, opposite, I don't like this about this side of the aisle. I don't like this about this side of the aisle. You get these daggone commercials every time you turn on the TV or any platform you go on. It's a commercial. Every other commercial is a sponsored ad by a politician. Exactly, YouTube, man. Bro. It's just I can't stand this these years, these election years, because it's just so ugly around the time, and the closer you get, the more nastier the ads get. So anyway,
it's a bad time of the year. I ain't gonna say it's bad because they have to campaign. They have to tell us what they say they gonna change, if they are gonna change anything. So I mean, it has to happen to campaign to the people. But like you said, that's why we don't talk politics on the show, because I don't think me and D-Lo are too opposed in our thought process when it comes, but we're also not informed enough to actually give a good conversation about it and put information out there to y'all. So that's why we don't talk it. But me and him aren't too opposite of what we think as far as the elections and things go like that too. So that's why we just don't talk about it, because we stay away from the book, because we don't. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? It's whatever.
Yeah, exactly. That's all you can say is you go too crazy and then somebody gonna say something, and we it's a rebuttal back and forth. It's like, man, listen,
they're gonna be in the comments, dog. They always always.
Yeah, they're gonna get it. They're gonna be at your head. But anyway, we got a lot to talk about this week, huh?
We do, brother. Let's get into it.
Yeah, so Super Bowl matchup is set. San Francisco 49ers will take on the Kansas City Chiefs in Las Vegas. This will be a rematch of Super Bowl 54, where the Chiefs were victorious. Patrick Mahomes is looking for his third Super Bowl win in his first 6 years as a starter. Kyle Shanahan and Christian McCaffrey are hoping to do what their dads did together in the 90s and win a Super Bowl together, a championship together as coach and player. The 49ers are the current favorites to win. So, Sticks, we got a couple questions for this segment.
Yeah.
A couple things to talk about, but how do you feel about this Super Bowl matchup, and who do you think will be the winner?
I think the Super Bowl matchup is going to be a good matchup. It's not who I originally predicted to be in the Super Bowl. If y'all watched that episode, I predicted it was going to be the Ravens and my Cowboys going to the Super Bowl, but I thought the Ravens were going to win. I was way wrong about that, obviously. But I think it's going to be a good matchup for two reasons. Number one, I think that Patrick Mahomes is starting to trend in a lot of people's minds as the new greatest of all time. Of course, everybody knows right now it's Tom Brady. Without a doubt, it's Tom Brady. Like, anybody can argue different positions, different players, different things about who the GOAT is of football. Basketball is a little harder. We talked about that last week. But football, I don't think there's any debate that Tom Brady is the GOAT, honestly. I don't think there's any debate. I think 90% of the people out there that argue GOAT is Tom Brady.
Yeah, without question.
Without question. But
I think football is different, though. But
football is a little different because if you think about it, if we're talking about greatest of all time, we can go offense and defense, because a lot of people say LT is the GOAT of defense.
And you can go positions too.
And you can go positions too. But if we're talking about all overall GOAT, because we can go positions in NBA too. But if you want to talk about overall GOAT, the greatest player in football history, I think the majority of people will say Tom Brady.
Yeah.
I think the majority of people say Michael Jordan in basketball too, but I think it's an overwhelming majority of people say Tom Brady in football. What you think?
Yeah, no. So the reason I said it's a little bit different for football is because it's 22 men on the court. I mean, on the field, and that's their position. Like, you can't put a daggone receiver at offensive tackle. It's not going to be a good situation.
No. We both play that position, so we know we ain't doing that.
Right. And so in basketball, it's starting to become more positionless. And true, it used to be you a point guard, true point guard, you pass the ball, don't really look to score a lot. Nowadays, point guards are versatile. And now we have a 7'4" guy in the NBA playing like a point guard and a big man and a small forward. We find a way to do it every week. LeBron has been playing positionless basketball for a while,
a decade now, honestly.
Right. Yeah. And so, I mean, while everybody, like you said, everybody will it's a majority will say Michael Jordan is the GOAT of basketball. I think you can't go by position, whereas in football, NFL, you can go by position, because I don't see Tom Brady playing linebacker.
True.
You know what I mean?
True.
Like, Deion Sanders could play both sides. Bo Jackson could play both sides, but that's very rare in the NFL. And we got off on a tangent already. I apologize. But, Tom Brady, yes, he will probably be the overall GOAT for football, but you could really go by position. Like the hot topic now is who's the greatest receiver of all time? Is it Randy Moss or is it Jerry Rice?
Is it Jerry Rice?
Or is it somebody else, right?
Terrell
So
Owens, is it, it's a lot of people in that conversation. But yeah.
My bad to cut you off, but we bled into another topic what we're going to discuss anyway. But go ahead, my fault.
Indeed. But but yeah, I think that's one of the main reasons why I think this matchup is is going to be a great matchup because of that, and also the surge that Brock Purdy has had over the past couple of years, going Mr. Irrelevant in his draft and coming into his own within the San Francisco offense with Mike Shanahan and becoming an MVP candidate, even though, some people might say he's a game manager, but which he is. Just keep it a buck. He is. Yeah. But within that, though, him leading that offense that is high powered. You got Brandon Ayuk, you got Deebo Samuel, you got Kittle, you got not to mention you got McCaffrey, probably who was also an MVP candidate on that offense. You have a high powered offense, 2 good receivers, a tight end and a running back, and a good offensive line. Come on, bro! Like that offense is amazing. So like this is going to be the battle of high powered offense with the surgence of Brock Purdy and up and coming greatest of all time Patrick Mahomes. I think it's going to be a great matchup. I mean, I don't necessarily, because I have lost on a lot of my, well, not necessarily. On my predictions, I've been wrong a lot, so I don't necessarily want to predict who's going to win.
I don't think you're wrong. I think you've been more wrong than me, though.
Nah, I don't think I have.
Nah, yeah, you ain't been more wrong than me, bro.
But if I had,
even though I was pretty much right with this, not to toot my own horn,
very true.
Even though other than I thought the Ravens would be in the Super Bowl rather than the Chiefs.
You did call San Francisco though.
Well, I called San Francisco, but I also said that you can't bet against Patrick Mahomes. I said that while the Lions had a good season and they'll probably make some noise in the playoffs, I don't think they'll be in the championship.
But they were in the NFC championship.
So I mean,
yeah. But if I had to pick though, the only thing I don't like about the Chiefs though is that their receivers have some hands problems. But you can't count Mahomes out. But it's just like I like the San Francisco offense so much, and their defense don't sleep on them either.
Right.
So I feel like it's a rematch of a Super Bowl in the past, and Patrick Mahomes got the best of San Francisco. I think San Fran gets the best of Pat Mahomes this coming Super Bowl. I think so. Yeah. And shout out to our boy Darnell, because he a San Francisco fan. He been talking shit to me for the past 2 weeks, ever since the Cowboys lost, and now they're in the Super Bowl. He been talking shit again. So if you watching, bruh, I'm picking your team to win. What you think? Yeah. What's your prediction? What's your prediction?
You want me to go backwards first? Okay, so I think. Again, you can't bet. You can't bet against Patrick Mahomes. However, I think that the San Francisco 49ers pulled out a tough one. We'll probably see it be similar to how it was in 2020 at Super Bowl 50,
it was close, yep.
where it was close for the first 3.5 quarters, and then the Chiefs called on third down the chip corner wasp where Tyreek ran a corner route, and then that broke the game open. They scored a touchdown off of that, and then they end up winning by 10. I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be similar.
Okay.
And I also think it's going to be a good. So with that being said, I think it will be a good Super Bowl because of the San Francisco 49ers being the best offense, one of the best offense in NFL. They were number 2 overall in overall offense. So they have that, and then surprisingly, for the first time in Patrick Mahomes' career, their defense, the Kansas City Chiefs defense, is one of the better defenses in the NFL. They're in the top 5 defense. So it's going to be an offensive match, offensive game and defensive game. But like you said, the San Francisco 49ers also have a top defense. And the Chiefs haven't been playing that well offensively this year because of their receivers. Patrick Mahomes finds a way to will this team to victory, get them some points or just enough points that they need. But
that's crazy. I didn't know. You just brought something to my attention. The Chiefs were the number 2 defense in the NFL.
Yeah, they have a pretty good defense this year.
Defense in the NFL. That's dope.
But
okay.
But this is the thing. the Chiefs have a good pass defense, but for whatever reason, they give up 4.5. And we need to get our dog Pineapple Picks lock on here to get more in depth with it. But the Chiefs give up they give up 4.5 yards a carry, and the Niners are a heavy run team. They play action pass a lot. So that's why I give the edge to the San Francisco 49ers because of their run game, because of how the Chiefs give up more. Chiefs give up a lot of yards on the ground. And I think I don't want to give a score prediction. I just think the 49ers will win. No
score either.
And I think it's a good. Go ahead.
No. You think it's a good word? Go ahead.
I think it's a good matchup too, or a good Super Bowl matchup because it's star power on both sides. You got Patrick Mahomes for the Chiefs. You have Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift.
We'll get into that in a second.
Yeah. And then with the 49ers, you have the America's underdog, Brock Purdy, as you mentioned. You have Christian McCaffrey. You have George Kittle. You have Ayuk, who's becoming a star. He's not a household name like a Christian McCaffrey, like a
Debo
Brock
Samuel.
Purdy, I'm saying people that like that transcend. I mean, that transcends football, right?
Makes sense.
Christian McCaffrey's on commercials and stuff like that. Patrick Mahomes is on commercials. Taylor Swift, and we know who Taylor Swift is, but Travis Kelce is on commercials because of different avenues and whatnot. So it just has star power all over it.
Yeah, facts, man. And it's funny you talked about the offense and the defensive rankings because they're inversed. So the Chiefs had a number 2 defense in the NFL, and the 49ers had a number 9 defense. But inversely, the Niners had a number 2 offense, and the Chiefs had a number 9 offense. So it's like it goes back and forth. That's crazy. I've never seen nothing like that before. But what was your next question about the Super Bowl, though, D-Lo?
Oh, so you mentioned GOAT earlier, and Patrick Mahomes has done some great things in his short career thus far. Has he already put himself in, I'm going to say NFL royalty because the GOAT thing, realistically, GOAT is supposed to just be one
person. Right.
Right. But we throw GOAT around quite literally for everybody we think is good.
Very loosely. Loosely.
So I'm going to say NFL royalty. Has Patrick Mahomes already put himself amongst NFL royalty with how he's played in the first 6 years of his career?
Yes, 100%.
It's just simple as that.
As simple as that. That's the answer. Yes. I mean, this is his
seventh year.
Then this is his 4th Super Bowl, right? Or 4th or 5th?
Yes, this will be his 4th Super Bowl.
4th Super Bowl, right? So, and this will be his possibly third
yes.
Super Bowl win in 4 tries.
Yes.
Yeah. He's in the royalty talk for sure. So, I mean, that's why people are putting him up there with the Tom Brady's of the world, with the LTs, with the, like you said, Dion's, and bro, it's crazy the type of success that he's had. Even having to sit his rookie year behind Alex Smith and taking that Alex Smith's injury by the horns and living his moment, bro. Like,
right.
Patrick Mahomes, is definitely in the royalty conversation for sure. No doubt about it. 100%. Yep.
Yeah, I agree with you. In my opinion, he's definitely in the conversation of NFL royalty and in the conversation of being the GOAT of the NFL when it's all said and done. He's done some unprecedented things in the NFL since he started 6 years ago, and since he's been in the NFL. He's been in the NFL 7 years, but actually has been the starter for the Kansas City Chiefs for 6. In all 6 of those years, he's been to the AFC Championship. Like you mentioned, this will be his 4th NFL Super Bowl appearance. His playoff record in the NFL in the playoffs is 14-3. He has 2 Super Bowl wins and 2 Super Bowl MVPs. And Tom Brady played 21 years and has 7
Super Bowls.
Patrick Mahomes has only been in the NFL 7 years and is on the verge of winning his third
Super
already.
Bowl already.
If he plays 21 years and puts up similar productivity as he has the first 7 years, in my mind, there's no way he doesn't get 7 Super Bowls.
But see, that's the thing, though. So are we? So okay. Are we talking? So this goes into the GOAT conversation because if he does play 21 years, has similar production as far as stat wise, are we going to use the team achievement of rings to put him above Tom when it's all said and done?
Well, that's what they're doing with
Jordan and LeBron.
But that's one of the reasons why they put Tom Brady as the undisputed GOAT is because of his longevity, because of the production that he's put up, and then he has 7 Super Bowls. You know what I mean? And so I think basketball is a bit different because it's less people on the field, on the court. I don't know why I keep mixing them up today. It's less people on the court, and one person can, and we'll get into this later, one person can like really take over the game and dominate to a point where the team, if they're on, the team is definitely going to win. Football's a bit different because quarterback can be great, but if the O-line's not blocking, he don't have time to throw the ball. The receiver doesn't have time to get the ball in his hands. Running back can't go anywhere. So like one small thing in football can deter the whole play offensively and defensively to make it not work well. And so that's why I'm saying if Patrick Mahomes can put up the same production as he has the first 6 playing years of his career. And I mean, I don't want to get all the way into the stats, but he's been doing some crazy stats comparisons to Tom Brady, to Joe Montana, who is everybody else has been saying, because I think Joe Montana's 6 or 5. He's undefeated in the Super Bowl.
4-0, if I'm not mistaken.
He's undefeated in the Super Bowl. And so he's also in that GOAT conversation for quarterbacks and whatnot. But if he continues to have the pace that he's been on right now, I can't see him not having at least 7 Super Bowls, especially if he wins this one. I can't see him not having at least 7, and then his numbers are going to be higher than, assuming he stays with Andy Reid for the majority of his career, because Andy Reid he likes to pass the ball, and that wasn't always the case with Tom Brady. Even though he was in a pass era, they were a run-heavy team. But yeah, if he stays with Andy Reid and continues to put up similar numbers, I can't see him not surpassing Brady in the numbers, in all of the stats, and then also having the same amount of rings, which would, in my mind, make him the GOAT.
Okay, so I was going to rebuttal something, but point is made because like I said, that's what they're doing with Michael Jordan and LeBron. But if Patrick Mahomes, I know we still off on a tangent, but if Patrick Mahomes has better stats but not as many rings, Tom Brady's still the GOAT.
See, yeah, and that's where you get
into the semantics, right?
Yeah,
so that's what I'm saying. Okay.
And nitpicking at who is the GOAT because of what distinguishes a person. Everybody says wins, and wins have to have some form in the GOAT equation, because you have to win in order to be considered a GOAT to some degree,
right?
But if you don't have the stats to back it up, which is okay, put it this way: this is why Robert Horry isn't considered a GOAT. He has 7 rings, or 6 or 7 rings.
Stats to back it up.
Yeah, but he's not he's not really, statistically, he's not all-time great. Right. He's a good player. He was a closer.
A great role player, yeah.
Right, great role player, but he wasn't the main guy. You know what I mean? So it's a balance. And this is what I be arguing, and why I'm like, man, I stay out that GOAT conversation, because people,
me too,
they get emotional about it.
They do get emotional about it.
But talking about Taylor Swift earlier in the star power,
because she got some.
She definitely got a star power.
Definitely got it.
On Nightcap with Ocho Cinco, Unc said that Beyonce does not move the needle, or could not move the needle like Taylor Swift for the NFL. What's your thoughts on that?
Our beehivers, oh my God, our beehiver, because we in relationships with, but you married the one. My girlfriend is the one.
Yeah.
If they heard Unc say that, oh my God, they would be on Unc ass. And I'm pretty sure that the Beehivers were in his comment section on Instagram, YouTube, wherever other podcast platforms that they own. They was in the comments. That to me is crazy. But see, that's another thing though, because it's got a lot to do with, to me, it's got a lot to do with culture. Mm-hmm. Because there's two different fan bases.
Is it?
The Swifties and the Beehives are two different fan bases, two different cultures to me. Mm-hmm. Now you might say something different. I'll let you get to it in a second. But in our community, which is more Beehivers, which is in our community, right? The Black community.
Yep.
They not into sports like that. The Beehivers, for real. They like my lady, she supports it because I love it, and she always says that she'll be right there beside me reading the book while I'm watching the games, because she ain't paying attention, but she just want to be around me, right? Mm-hmm. But I feel like the Swifties will get into more of the sport just because Taylor Swift is there. But I can't say the Beehivers wouldn't do that too, because if Beyonce was dating, I don't know, Jalen Hurts, and she was in Philadelphia all the time, right? I'm just saying, if Beyonce was dating Jalen Hurts, they would be all over the Eagles, for real, because Beyonce is in the crowd. So I think it's very, very, I think they have a similar pull. I don't think Taylor moves the needle more to Beyonce or vice versa. I think if Beyonce did it just the same way, the Beehivers would be all over it too, to be perfectly honest with you. But what you think? What you got?
So it's funny. And this is why we are very similar, but different in many ways. Mm-hmm. We had talked about this before originally when it first came out that Taylor Swift was dating Travis Kelce. We said, could Beyonce do the same thing? And we was like, maybe not, because, but when we originally said it, I think it was a matter of assumption, an assumption of the different fan bases and appeal that each artist has. Mm-hmm. You would automatically assume, because Taylor Swift is white, she's going to appeal to that audience, the white crowd, right? Mm-hmm. And in America, the white Caucasians make up 60% of America, so she has more of a base to draw from than Beyonce would, who would be more of diversity or more of the minorities, which is 40%, the other 40%, right? So that's the assumption, and I think that's the assumption that Unc was making. Yeah. However, after doing a little bit of thinking and after doing a little bit of research,
I
don't know if I agree with it.
I got you.
So what we know about Beyonce, and then why I also think Unc said what he said, is we know she's married. So if she's married to Jay-Z, right? Sure. He has ties to football, but he's not an actual player. Mm-hmm. And so if Beyonce, let's just say in an imaginary world, Beyonce wasn't married to Jay-Z and she was able to do exactly what Taylor Swift doing, date a football player. You use Jalen Hurts. Perfect example, because I think the girls or women go crazy for Jalen Hurts, older and younger. I could be wrong.
Handsome
I don't know.
guy, cute dog, whatever.
You know what I mean? So so say she was dating Jalen Hurts. I 100% think the Beehive would be all over the Eagles, all over Jalen Hurts, spending money with the NFL, just as the Swifties was, because I did a little bit digging, and you can't always trust polls, but a poll was done by Yahoo and YouGov, and it said that Taylor Swift, 23% of Americans said that they were Taylor Swift fans.
Okay.
23% of Americans said that they were Beyonce fans.
Okay.
And 12% said that they were fans of both. Okay.
Okay.
So assuming that all things are equal, Beyonce has the exact same opportunity to do what Taylor Swift has done for the NFL. Now, Taylor Swift, $330 million.
$331 million
is what they're saying she generated for the NFL. That's a big number, but the way the Beehive swarms around their queen and it follows her and does everything and swallows up anything that she gets involved with, Man, come on, man.
I'm sorry.
Come on, man.
He swallowed up. Have you ever been swallowed up? Swallowed.
Yeah. So, but the way they swarm around everything that she gets involved with, sells out everything that she gets involved with, and quickly attacks all of that. I originally was on Unk's side. I was like, yeah, I think they're right, but that was just an assumption of Taylor Swift has a bigger fan base. But after doing a little bit of research and really thinking about it, knowing how the Beehive is, I don't know if I can agree. I can understand where Unc was coming from, but I don't know if I can agree with him wholeheartedly now.
Nah, I can't agree. I can't agree with Unc. Like you said, I see where Unc was coming from, but I think the Beehive would swarm just as much as the Swifties ran. I don't know an analogy for Swifty, but I think
that's good though. Swift ran. Hey, I think they would.
They would just like they ran to the Chiefs. They would swarm to the Eagles or whoever the hell. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
She got similar pull, and that poll is dope because I think it's very, very accurate because it's quite even. It's quite even between Beyonce and Taylor Swift. So. Would she bring in? Probably. I can't even. That's a dumb question to ask. But I think Beyonce would bring in $331 million in the NFL. Like, because we all know.
Because you gotta think. Gotta think. Beyonce already has. I'm not gonna say. I'm not gonna sit here and say that white culture doesn't really get into fashion, but we know Black culture gets heavy into fashion. And if Beyonce, again, we know she's married to Jay-Z, but if she was to date an NFL player, and in this in this scenario, we're saying Jalen Hurts. We're just saying Jalen Hurts because he's a big name quarterback and whatnot, handsome guy. And so if she was to wear a flossed out Jalen Hurts jersey, you don't think the Beehive gonna buy that shit?
Yeah, man, just like Taylor Swift wore that Travis Kelce bubble coat. That lady that made that coat for her went crazy after that.
Right.
The Beehive would do the same thing if Beyonce wore that. You see what I'm saying?
Same thing. So the NFL, so just how Travis Kelce's jersey numbers spiked up. What we say, 300%,
I think it
400%.
Yeah,
same thing would happen with Jalen Hurts. So I mean, I understand where he was coming from. In theory, the assumption more whites in America, she has more of a appeal to draw to that audience. Mm-hmm. But if we're talking about the fan base itself, I think Beyonce has the same opportunity.
Definitely does, 100%.
Maybe he's talking about the media appeal, the marketing appeal, but. I mean, just as many.
Even that, Beyonce's still on the same level.
Yeah. Maybe I don't know. I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt because maybe it's like he's thinking of, when she did a Super Bowl, she did that Black Power protest type movement, and that might have turned some people off. So maybe he's thinking of that. But I mean, I think people don't look at Beyonce in that light. Not too many people look at Beyonce in a negative light.
That's very true.
Unless you're talking about extreme Christians and whatnot that say she worships the devil and all that, but that's neither here nor there.
No, I don't think she does.
Yeah,
I don't think she does.
So, sticking with Taylor Swift, last question. Do you think the NFL really tried to get her to perform at a Super Bowl halftime and she turned them down?
I think they did because of how much money she generated.
Exactly.
But I don't think she turned it down because she didn't want to do it. And I found an article on Newsweek that was published on January 31st that says that if she was to try to do the Super Bowl, it's going to be hard for her to do it anyway because she's on tour. Mm-hmm. So she's going to be in Japan the day before the Super Bowl on the 9th. Mm-hmm. So she would have to literally leave her tour right after it's over, hop on the plane, a 12-hour flight to Nevada, and then try to get ready. Because she's on tour right now. So she don't have time to stop and rehearse the Super Bowl at the same time as her tour. Like, that's crazy. She's on a world tour. So, it would be hard for her to do that coming from Japan doing her tour to come all the way to Nevada and try to keep rehearsing that's hard on anybody. That would be hard on anybody's body, voice, because she's a singer. Like she gonna have to relax at some point and keep her voice together. So, so she can keep her vocals right. So I think they did try to get her to do it. Like I said, because of the money that they generate, she generated $331 million. So of course the Super Bowl is going to say, hey, Taylor, you want to hop beside Usher real quick and do a little set? You know what I'm saying? Type shit. But I don't think she turned it down because she wanted it, because she just said, nah, fuck Super Bowl. I think she turned it down because she just ain't have time. I mean, I think she would have done it if she wasn't on tour, honestly.
So I think I'm going to agree with you on that. The only thing I would add is I think she's trying to be respectful of her relationship with Travis Kelce. Like Travis Kelce has been to multiple of her concerts and never has been tried to perform with her. And so even though that would be dope, not that he would perform, but you're in a relationship with somebody. No, you're in a relationship with somebody. They're a part of the event. They're a part of the event in one fashion, and then you're also a part of the event in another fashion. But anyway, I think she's trying to be respectful and be present at the game and not take over his stars, whatever he is to the game. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And so, like, she wants to be there in attendance for him, and not be there in attendance working, right? Yeah. She wants to enjoy that moment, especially if they're in the honeymoon phase still. So they're still so she's trying to be, I would think she's trying to be respectful of that situation. But if I'm the NFL, I believe they definitely did ask her, knowing that that she has free access, or she's coming to the game anyway, more than likely. Mm-hmm. Do you want to perform? Yeah, why not continue to milk the cow that has gotten you this far, $331 million so far, to probably bring in more of those Swifties to watch the Super Bowl.
$330 million?
That's crazy.
Crazy. Like,
that's crazy.
It's insane. And like, just like you said, bro, it's one of those things where what's even crazier is I don't know if you knew this, but Usher, like we talked about before, Usher is performing.
Right.
They did, I believe at his residency, Usher and Taylor did like a little they performed together at his residency in Vegas. So people were speculating that since they performed together at his residency that he was going to guest appear her at the Super Bowl. But I don't think that's true either. But yeah. But I do agree with D-Lo though. She wants to kind of respect Travis's arena. Like you said, he's been to concerts. He hasn't tried to take away from what she does, and she hasn't tried to take away from what he does, even though the Super Bowl is showing her plastered all over the TV every time the teams play.
NFL,
the NFL is plastering her, but she's not doing it intentionally. You know what I'm saying?
That's no fault of her own.
It's not
maybe she is, but maybe she is doing it intentionally, just by being there, being visible, I guess. But you're at a football game. What else are you gonna do? She's in the press box.
She's in the press box. She's not the press box or the suite before the games, after the games. So she's not this. I don't want to say intentional. I mean, they want to show that they have love. For each other.
She's not doing it intentionally. She's not doing it intentionally. Playing devil's advocate. Yeah,
but it's one of those things where she there, so why not show her? She one of the biggest performers in the world. You know what I'm saying? Probably behind Beyonce, if not neck and neck. So why not show her? She here.
Viewership spiked. The first game that she was there, viewership spiked 14% or something like that, by younger female audience. So why not? This is the last thing I'll say about Taylor Swift, and which was crazy to me when I read this stat.
Okay.
Which adds to the 330 million, or which is a part of the 330 million. It's been reported that she has influenced 16% of U.S. shoppers to spend money with the NFL. 16% of the U.S. population she's influenced to spend money.
16% of almost 8 billion people. That's
no. U.S. shoppers. So US 339 million. Yeah.
Okay.
U.S. shoppers. Gotcha. So 339 million. She's influenced 16% to spend money with the NFL.
Whew. That's insane, bro. That is like I think Beyonce could do it too.
Yeah, I think Beyonce could do that.
100%.
When you think about it, it's crazy, but these people have big influences on large amounts of people.
Worldwide influences.
Yeah.
You know
exactly.
what I'm saying? So Beyonce could do the same
definitely
thing.
think. Yeah.
100%. But changing paces a little bit, D-Lo. We talked about the NFL. Now let's get into the NBA a little bit, man. So the NBA this year, as we talked about once before in the show, that they implemented the 65-game rule where you can only miss 17 total games to be eligible for postseason awards. That includes MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, Rookie of the Year, all of those awards. But they also influence first team All-NBA, second team, all defense, all of those awards as well. Mm-hmm. We're getting into a situation right now where Joel Embiid is at an MVP pace the way he's playing right now.
Clear favorite MVP.
Clear favorite for the MVP, averaging 35 points, going crazy, double-digit rebounds, 5 assists, like having one of the best seasons that he's had in his career right now. Mm-hmm. But he recently was in the news for already missing 12 games. But then then people are saying that he forced it against the Golden State Warriors. He ended up tearing his meniscus, which he's going to be out for an extended period of time. So he's going to miss 17 games. He's going to miss 17
So it's been confirmed that he tore it?
He tore his meniscus. They haven't said how long he's going to be out, but if he's already missed 12, with a torn meniscus, he's probably going to miss 5 more. I'm just assuming that, personally.
So when I was researching when I was researching it, it said that he had a meniscus injury. They did not confirm if it was a tear or not. So it's been confirmed.
It's been confirmed that he's torn his meniscus. So he's going to miss 5 more games with a torn meniscus. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
And speaking from somebody who has torn his LCL and his ACL and his meniscus in one shot, the meniscus is the least of your worries, but it's still bad. Don't get it twisted. It's still bad. Yeah. But he's gonna miss more than 5 games. So the question that's swirling around the sports community right now is, do you think the 65-game rule was good or bad for the NBA? D-Lo, what do you think, bro?
So and it's funny that just answer the question. So yes, originally when we first looked at this situation, I would have said it's bad for the NBA. Especially given how Joel Embiid was on pace to be the runaway MVP. But after doing research will, if you actually look at facts,
incite you, bro.
Research will change your opinion on a lot of things. So unfortunately for this situation for Joel Embiid, I'm going to say no, it's not a bad thing. Because after doing a little bit of research, the NBA has done a fairly good job of rewarding, or, the player that has won the MVP has played a great majority of the games. I think with the individuals that I was looking at, Derrick Rose, his MVP season, we're talking about Derrick Rose, right? Mm-hmm. He played 81 games. Steph, when he, in his injury-ridden time with the Warriors, when he was going through those spells, his 2 MVP seasons, I think the least amount of games he played was 79. Surprisingly, the person that we all is 1A, 1B, in my opinion, as far as the GOAT is concerned, was the individual LeBron. He played the least amount of games during his MVP seasons. 2 of his MVP seasons was, I think it was 2009 and in 2012. That was 76 games. But everybody else that I was looking at in that span, they either played between 76 to, if not that amount, all the games. So as far as MVP is concerned, I think the rule is a good one. I'll let you respond, but when it comes to the other accolades, I think they might need to make some amendments.
I think initially, whenever I first heard it, of course, the first thing that came to my mind was they're doing this to combat load management.
Well, yeah, right.
They're doing it to combat load management, which I believe is a good thing for the consumer, because how would you feel if you were going to see the Charlotte Hornets play and LeBron was supposed to be coming to Charlotte, and you want to go see LeBron play? I want to go see LeBron play against LaMelo. It's going to be a great game, even though the Lakers would blow the Charlotte Hornets out because our home team is not that good. Our home team is not that good. Let's keep it real. Well, really? But neither is the Lakers. But they had. I
they
think
hit or miss, man. They are up and down.
They are up and down. But we would be remiss to say that we're not going to the game to see LeBron play the Charlotte Hornets, right?
100%.
But then you get to the game, game time decision, LeBron ain't playing. You gonna be pissed off that you spent $400-$500 on a seat. That
however much a ticket is.
However much a ticket is.
Yeah.
On a seat to go see LeBron play, and he ain't even playing. So the consumer is what brings in the money for the NBA in a large amount of ways, with viewership, with ticket sales, with apparel, with a lot of different things. So the NBA as an organization has to keep the consumer happy. So 65 game rule, you can't miss more than 17 or you're not going to get any awards. But that also incentivizes these players to actually play for something, because not only are you playing for awards, you're also playing for contracts. You're playing for money too. So some of these contracts can say, okay, cool. If you play 65 games, you can get awarded an extra $500,000 bonus. Or if you play in these 65 games, over the next 4 years, your next contract would be abundantly more, or something to that effect. I don't know if that's true. I'm just making an assumption. So
no, to some degree it is.
But yeah, a lot of these contracts are incentivized. Yeah,
but for people like we're talking about, that's in these MVP conversations. I mean,
yeah. I was getting to that too. I was getting to that too. So a lot of this is to combat load management, but it's giving them something to play for. And Joel Embiid's situation, it's tough because just speaking about what Draymond Green said on his podcast, he was playing in the game that Joel Embiid got hurt, and he said it looked forced. It looked like he was forcing himself to play because of the rule. And if these players are legitimately hurt, and they got this 65 game rule in the back of their mind, they gonna force it and possibly make matters worse. It's not what Draymond said. This is what I'm taking for what he said. So, but he also came out and said, which was actually a lie. He actually said that he made it the comment that guys in the past ain't have to go through this. You had guys win awards that played very, very little amount of games, and they still won these awards. And he said he personally lost a DPOY to Kawhi Leonard, who played 51 games. That was a lie. Kawhi Leonard played 64 games that year that he lost it to him. So he's still at that threshold of 65, 64 games to where you can still win these awards. And to D'Lo's point, the person who won the award with the least amount of games played was number 1, Karl Malone, but that was a shortened season in 98. And then number 2, Bill Walton, and he played 58 games. He was the only exception to somebody who played very little games to winning the MVP. LeBron played 62. That's still close to 65. And then you got Giannis.
Well, that was a shortened season too. That was
11-12. That was a lockout season. They didn't start until I think January.
October.
October. Oh yeah, true. October. So they missed a lot of games too. So that was also a shortened season. So if you still playing, but then you got 64, 63, 66 is Joel Embiid.
Right, actually. I'm sorry. What? Sorry to cut you off. Yeah, it was January when they started. You're right.
Yeah. I think they missed like 4 months or something like that.
Yeah, they start in October originally anyway. Yeah.
But Joel Embiid won the MVP last year, and he played 66 games. So you still around that 65. So I initially, honestly, didn't like the rule. But then when you, like you said, research will incite you, and research will change a lot of your opinions. And not only does it give the players something to play for, but it also keeps the consumer happy. They get to see their favorite basketball players, the star basketball players, play more games, in opposed to sitting down because you need rest. Yeah, this is your job. The consumers don't get the rest whenever they work in these 9 to 5s. You shouldn't get the rest whenever you entertaining us, nigga. You making millions and millions of dollars. But I guess they do, because we take vacations.
We do. Just not that long. We don't get to sit out. Yeah. Our shit ain't, well, I guess it is guaranteed to a degree, but we get vacation, but we get vacation, like some players sit out half the season, because they want to.
Okay, D-Lo, but let me say this: in my last job, I had per year, and they also rolled over if I didn't use them. Per year, I got 15 PTO days per year that I could take. Isn't these 17 basically PTO?
No, and
to keep it 100. Yeah, so I mean, they treat it like a job.
I'm the first to say that this is their job.
This is their job.
As such, you know what I mean? So I'm like you. Like I said, I'm with you. When I originally heard it, I was like, this is stupid.
It's stupid.
Well, I wouldn't say stupid, but to remove them or have the ability to get awards, I think that's kind of crazy. But then thinking of it as a job, well, we can't.
If I take more than 15
even if you have
PTO
unlimited
days,
PTO, even if you
true,
have unlimited
which I
PTO,
have now, which is dope.
You can't miss us. They gonna look at you crazy if you miss half the year. They can be like, bro, you got to go.
Unless it's paternity leave or something. But they gonna if you just taking it just to be taking it and you ain't really productive like that, they be like, bro, what are you doing for real? Like, I understand we said you got unlimited, but they really ain't unlimited. Like, you feel what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But yeah, so I mean, they honestly have the right to take those PTO days, and they should be limited. You shouldn't be able to miss honestly more than 17. Because if you do, then that messes with your money, that messes with your awards. And especially if you got incentives in your contract and you get incentivized for making these all NBA teams or winning the MVP or DPOY, you want to play to win those awards to get more money.
You play to win the game.
You play to get paid. So play,
but it's guaranteed.
Do your job. So. But a lot of it is guaranteed. True. So
so this is my thing. And Shaq said this, and I agree with this. And this is where I kind of shifted back. So I was a pendulum with this whole thing. I was like, man, it's crazy. They shouldn't have to play, if they get hurt or if they miss 17 games and they're one of the best players in the league, they should be able to get an award. But then doing the research, I was like, okay, no, I understand where they're coming from. But then Shaq swung me back to the middle. He was saying, if they're just load managing, absolutely they shouldn't be able to get it. You make XY a certain amount of dollars, you definitely should be out there playing. The fans come to see you play XYZ. But if it's an injury where we actually saw the person get hurt, it's a freak injury, and they're playing out of their mind and they're close, 55 so games they played more than half the season, then okay, MVP, they probably need to be out of that conversation. But all NBA awards and stuff like that, they should be able to be eligible for those because it's not like they're load managing. They are actually hurt. Like we actually like when Paul George got hurt, right? I mean, he got hurt early in the season, or
he got hurt in the Olympics. He got hurt in the Olympics.
But we saw that. Is it his fault that if he was playing during the season that accident happened? Is it his fault that he played well and then got hurt, in a freak accident, and now he can't get an award or his extra bonus because he workers' compensation, so to speak? So you gotta look at it like that, right? So I don't know and that's where I kind of swung back to the middle based off of what Shaq said. It gave me a different insight. Like,
I agree with Shaq. I agree with that Shaq take because that's the same thing Joel Embiid was saying, was like, if these people are actually hurt, like, then you really can't sit here and say that they're load managing or they're trying not to play or just trying to rest, because you have them on the injury report as, I know it might say sore knee, but that you got to dig deeper into that and ask the questions of, is this really a sore knee or does he have something, internal going on for real? Like, some of these players are actually hurt. I mean, Joel
Draymond.
Embiid.
You said Joel Embiid.
Oh, well, yeah, Draymond. Draymond said that about Joel. If it says sore knee on the injury report, do some research. Ask the medical staff, like, is this really just a sore knee, or did y'all decide what y'all put on the injury report, or is he having something internal going on? Like, but it's just weird because these players should be able to take PTO. You know what I'm saying? Like, just don't miss over 17 of them motherfuckers, and you good. I think I don't totally like the award, but I agree. I mean, the rule, but I agree with why it's implemented. To be perfectly honest with you,
right.
I agree.
Yeah.
But moving on, bro. You got something else to say about that?
Nah. I was just gonna. Nope, I don't have anything else to say. Kanye West is going viral again.
Okay.
This time for snatching the phone out of paparazzi's hand after being asked if his current wife, Bianca Censori,
yep.
Yeah. Has any free will. The altercation occurred before West was set to attend Charlie Wilson's Walk of Fame ceremony. West was heard asking the woman, what do you think? Because you're a white woman, you can walk up to me like that and ask me some dumbass shit like that? Sticks. Do you think Ye was right in this situation? How do you feel about the situation, and do you think he was right?
We all talk about Kanye, and we've seen the rants that he's had. We've seen the things that he's been doing over the past year and a half, 2 years now. I mean, it's probably longer than that, but he's had more outrageous things he's been saying and doing over the past, at least since we've been doing the podcast, at least, right? And he has done some crazy things, and the paparazzi can get real and intrusive whenever they're trying to get a reaction out of you or a picture. They can invade your privacy 100%. Paparazzi, that's what they're paid to do, is invade your privacy. So
they're incentivized to get the exclusives.
100%. That's a great way to put that.
They're freelance. So
might be the title, not gonna lie. But in this situation, when it's something as personal as my wife, and you already invaded my space and you asked me a question about my wife, and something that you make it seem like I'm taking away her freedom, I would probably react like this, honestly. Like, what are you talking about? Like, what do you mean, my wife? Like, are you serious? So, like, I in this situation, I agree with Kanye West. I probably myself would have reacted in the same way, because you asking me about something, you already invaded my personal space, like I said, and you asking me about something personal to my actual life that you know nothing about. So I'm going to 100% defend my wife and let you know, like, you don't have the right to ask me that fucking question. Like, what is wrong with you? And the do you think because you're a white woman part is kind of outrageous a little bit, but yeah, I think you might ask a different question, but I think he was right. I bang with Kanye for this take, because I would react the same way. What you think, D-Lo?
So yes, I agree with you. I agree with Kanye. I don't really see anything wrong with it, other than him snatching the phone out of her hand, because that could be seen as a criminal offense, right? True. It could be seen as a attempted assault or petty larceny, because he took the phone and walked away. And so that's taking somebody's property for your possession and, leaving the scene with the property. So other than that, I don't have an issue with how Kanye addressed the situation, because you don't know this person. Like, just because he's a celebrity, you don't know him. You don't know him or this situation, his marriage, his personal life. And so for you to come up to him, ask him a question like that in public, or for the use of, or for public consumption, you were bold enough to ask that question. Be bold enough to receive how the question is responded. Exactly. Yeah. Here, fucked around and found out. Exactly.
The more you around, the more you find out.
Exactly. Yeah. And so we know, like you said, we know the paparazzi can be, they go overboard quite literally almost every time they interact with celebrities, and it's well documented. Just do a quick Google search, paparazzi. You don't have to put anything else, and a ton of lists will come up saying top 10 times paparazzi has gone overboard. Kanye West has had multiple run-ins with the paparazzi, so much so that his kids, you can see how his kids interact with the paparazzi now. Like, they don't want them in their face. But I mean, on one of the lists that I saw for times that the paparazzi went overboard, Kanye West was number 4 on this list. And the paparazzi ran up to him in his garage at 4 a.m. in the morning in 2014. So, I mean, he's had a history of
having out houses out this bit. That's crazy.
You feel me? So he's had a history of having bad interactions or weird, almost, like you said, stalkerish interactions with paparazzi. You ask me something like that, come on, man. You don't know me to be asking me this, and not for public consumption. And you're a freelance photographer, videographer, journalist, whatever the case you want to call it. In some regards, that's what we are. But we not running up to these celebrities and asking them, yo, what's going on with you and your wife? Y'all have sex last night? No, we ain't doing nothing like that, man. You know what I'm saying? That's going too far. You know what I mean? For us, if these people want to release this information, they will set up a interview and we can discuss what we want to ask him. They can agree or disagree. Mm-hmm. He didn't agree to this. You know what I mean? He's still a human. Just because he's a celebrity, he does sacrifice certain things. He does sometimes give up certain rights. But to just be asking celebrities any and everything because you trying to get that exclusive to get paid for it, to get a high dollar amount from TMZ or whatever sleazy magazine or media source you're selling it to, get out of here with that.
It's whack, bro. It's whack, bro. But when we were talking about this earlier in the week, though, you asked me the question: would he have said this to a sister, though? What you think?
Would he have said?
Do you think he would? I think he would have went off, but I don't think he would have. I think he would have went off still, but I don't think he would have made the white woman comment. I think he would have said something different. I think he would, because what could he have said? Like,
I don't think his sister would have asked him that. I don't think his sister would have came up to him and asked him that.
That's true. That's true, D-Lo. That's true, D-Lo. That's true. Every week, bro. Every week. But yeah, that's true. I don't think a black woman would have asked him that question. I just think she would have. I think she would have. But I don't know, bro. Can we really assume that she wouldn't have asked that question though?
I mean, you can never put anything past anybody.
Truth.
But I don't think, my opinion, I don't think that a sister would have asked him that question.
I think we can agree on that. But if she did ask that question, what would Kanye have said? Like,
if she did ask that question, he probably would have said the same thing. You think he probably would have said the same thing. Honestly, you think? Because
I honestly don't think he would have put black in it. I think he would have said, "You think because you're a woman, you can ask that question."
Maybe,
but all we doing is speculating and assuming.
We speculating now. We're not talking about the facts.
We're not talking about the facts. We're speculating at this point. But he was right though. He was right, because I would have done the same thing. 100%. You asked me about
other than snatching that phone. I don't see anything wrong with what Kanye did.
True, not at all. But moving on to the next segment, D-Lo, man. The Breakfast Club has been in the news for good things and bad things over the past couple of years, but this one right here is kind of strange. So they have been doing a bunch of guest appearances as far as who is going to replace Angela Yee, because she's got her own syndicated program now. Congrats to her. But they've been doing a lot of different co-hosts or possible co-hosts on their show for the past year. And Jess Hilarious was one of them that was more so a staple on the show. She had appeared more than most. And she had announced back in December that she was going to be the next co-host of the show. But here recently, after the new year, they still hadn't had Jess Hilarious on the show. And Charlamagne and DJ Envy had made some comments about not having a co-host and them not hiring anybody, and them being tired of being on the show by themselves and seeing each other, just kind of making jokes about it. There had also been an instance where DJ Envy had made some comments about, Charlamagne and DJ Envy made some comments about SZA and being the Mary J. Blige generation, yada, yada, yada. And Just Hilarious had came out and said these N-words is trash and Envy need to shut up. I know artists be pissed when old heads do this because now everybody negatively comparing SZA to MJB, and it ain't even her fault. She has her own identity. So all of this negativity swirling around the Breakfast Club with Jess Hilarious and then trying to figure it out. The question is starting to arise, at least between us, is, are they doing this for publicity? I'm spitting. Are they doing this for publicity just to bring some more viewers and listeners to the show? What do you think about this whole situation with Jess Hilarious and the Breakfast Club, D-Lo?
I definitely see this as a possibility of them using it as publicity for the show. People don't feel the same way that they once felt about the Breakfast Club. You know, at one point in time, the Breakfast Club was where you can get those exclusive interviews from various resources, whether it's within the Black culture or outside. You know, you might get an opinion of something on the opposite side of what you actually think about politically. You know what I mean? They have politicians that come there, activists that come there, and to the show. Or, you know, you can just get those times where you have Birdman acting a fool and walking out, or, you know, upset. So it used to be the place where you could go and find what you're looking for when it comes to content within the Black culture and just on the fringe of outside of Black culture. But nowadays there are so many outlets that you can get content from and interviews from Black culture that is kind of washed them. I'm not gonna say it's washed them away. Obviously, they're still one of the top um, podcast radio shows there is. However, the hold that they have on the community isn't as strong as it is. And so I can 100% see them using this as a way, Jess Hilarious has a following. And, I can definitely see them using this as a way of pulling in a little bit, using the emotion of why y'all doing my girl like this or why y'all doing her like that to bring in a new viewership or to bring back those that they may have lost or just to stop the bleeding. Whatever the reason is, I can see that them using this as one of those. And so to me, the back and forth with, is she hired 1 week, 2 weeks ago, she said she was hired, or 3 weeks ago, whenever you said back in January before the year started, she said that she was hired. Then 2 weeks ago, she was like, she basically said that she's not hired, like they trash and she's not going to be working with them. And then she releases a video where it's like, it looked like, you remember the end scene, the wedding scene in Coming to America, when Lisa come down Akeem didn't know it was Lisa coming down the aisle, and then when he unveils her pops out from out of nowhere. You know what I mean? And then all is good. It seemed like she come as they savior. You know what I mean? And so, you really were going to give this all up for me? Absolutely, we can still do it now if you want to.
Facts.
Nah. Yeah, that's exactly what it seemed like. It seemed like something scripted that they did on the Breakfast Club.
Nah, facts. And even DJ Envy came out and said, whenever he was hearing all the fake, what he was calling fake news, he was like, they were actually doing a photo shoot, and these people online are talking about Jess didn't get the job. What is going to happen to Jess now? It just goes to show that's what happens when too many people have a microphone or a computer in front of them. He goes on to say, Jess is a comedian and she can go toe to toe with both of us. This is what Jess does for a living. She's funny. She's witty. If you ever go to Jess stand-up comedy shows, if they say something, she's going to snap back. I think Jess brings a lot to the table, and I can't wait to have her on the show. So she is going to be on the show. She starts on February the 5th, which is Monday. So she is going to actually be on the show. But
when was this interview that Envy did? Sorry to cut you off.
This was no, you good. No, you good. You good. This was reported yesterday by Entertainment Exclusive. Okay. Or Page 6. Page 6. This is the page that it's on.
Yeah.
So page6.com did an interview. Tashara Jones on Page 6 did an interview with him yesterday, or published yesterday. So it might have been before that. But yeah, she starts on February the 5th. It says he added the Baltimore comedian. She won't be in New York until February the 5th when she starts. So we're hearing a lot of fake news and these hating comments. So yeah.
It's just, and before you go, I just want to, if that is the case, if you felt like that about her and what she brings to the show, and she can go toe to toe with both of y'all, and she's witty, then why is she, you know what I'm saying? Why is she saying one thing and then going back to another, then coming back to what she originally said? And then why are y'all getting so defensive when people ask you about her on the show, on your show, or just in general, or say anything about the situation? So that's why it's like, that's, and it's, again, they've been the big player in so long. They're under iHeartRadio. We know that old dogs don't die easily, right?
Facts.
So the media will do anything to keep their place, to keep that money coming in. And so, sure. And you know me, I'm always skeptical when it comes to stuff like this.
100%. And I agree with you. I agree with you, because the way things were playing out and the way that DJ Envy and Charlamagne were talking on the radio about how I don't know who the next host going to be. I'm waiting for them to hire somebody. I'm getting tired of seeing you every day and talking to you only every day. I'm getting tired of the way they were doing this. I was, whenever we were talking about this, I was like, yeah, I can see what you mean, D-Lo, about this might be a little bit of a publicity stunt and stringing people along to get people to watch and listen, because people want to see Jess. Jess is hilarious. That's right. Her name, no pun intended. But Jess is hilarious, and she does have a good personality. She deserves to be on the radio because of the way she talks and where she's from. She's from Baltimore, so she's going to put on for a city. So I agree. What you laughing at?
Because when you say, you said she deserves to be on the radio. Like people say that people do radio because they can't be on TV. They don't have the looks to be on TV. That's why I laugh. And then in my head, And then in my head, when you said that, I picture Martin saying, "This face belongs on the tizoob."
The tizoob.
You remember that?
I do remember that. I do remember that.
Yeah.
When he was about to start his TV show. So I do.
Yeah.
But I mean, that Facebook. Never mind. I ain't gonna say that. But anyway, but yeah, she deserves the opportunity to be on the radio. I would just say it like that. So because she will be good. She will bring a different energy than what Angela Yee brought. Because Angela Yee was good at what she did. She deserved her syndicated show.
She was chill.
She was real chill, kind of laid back. She didn't have the rambunctious attitude and personality as what Just Hilarious has. So she's gonna bring a different energy to the show. And I'm kind of excited to see what kind of energy she does bring to the show of Breakfast Club, because they do need a little bit more fire to the show a little bit, because Charlamagne said some controversial things. DJ Envy is kind of laid back in his own right, but he has some takes that are controversial as well. But
he's going through a bunch of stuff. He's going through a bunch
of stuff right now legally as well, as we talked about on the show about a couple months back. So she's going to bring a lot of energy and a lot of fire to the show. That's probably what the show kind of needs right now. So I can't wait for her to be on it. It's going to be dope.
Yeah. So I got something real quick. Since it's you, I'm not gonna let this show, our first show in the month, and not mention Black History at all. Black History Month, if you ain't know. But 3 years ago on Joe Rogan's podcast, he had a guest by the name of Daryl Davis, and I've held this segment for quite some time, knowing that Black History was coming up. I wanted to talk about it. But Daryl Davis, who is a blues musician and activist, he was on Joe Rogan's podcast, I think 3 years ago. He was on there. I don't know for sure. And they were talking about various things. But Daryl Davis said that we should do away with Black History Month.
I'm not even looking up Daryl Davis no more. I was about to look him up and see who he was.
Look him up. Look him up. But you didn't let me finish. So he said we should do away with Black History Month. And that's the soundbite that everybody sees. And that's the emotion that they want to draw out of us. But the reason he was saying we should get rid of Black History Month is because instead of 1 month where we all focus on the history of African Americans in this country, we should more so spread the history out throughout the year and just teach Black history throughout the year. Boy. Right? And he also was saying that, because of Black history and it's being taught in the schools, we only know about a select few of individuals that have made a contribution to the history of America and Black history, wherein it's a vast majority of more individuals that are out, African Americans or Blacks, that have contributed to the progress of America and Blacks in America. So my question to you, knowing what we know, we don't talk politics, but knowing what we know politically with what's going on with, I'm just going to call it whitewashing right now, do you think it would be a good idea to take away Black History Month?
That's a hard question to answer, D-Lo, because it's been a staple in our community for decades. Probably, I'm gonna say decades.
In America,
for
decades, since the 70s, I believe, or 80s. Since it was introduced, it was a day, and now it turned into a month. It didn't turn to a month. Or a week. It was a week. I'm sorry.
So I believe it would be hard. Honestly, I don't think it would be hard to get the Black community to buy into throughout the entire year. We have a respect for our history, and opposed to just 1 month out of 12. I don't think it would be hard to get our community to buy into it. It just depends on how it's implemented. Because, of course, as we talked about last week, we're a very proud culture. Right. We're a very proud culture. So it's going to take a lot of convincing to us to say, we're going to take y'all money away, but we're going to implement it throughout the year. And people going to ask, well, how you going to do it? Because, you know what I'm saying? Like, we need to make sure that our history is celebrated just as much as the other histories are celebrated as well. So they're going to ask, our culture is going to ask those questions. We ain't going to be quiet about it. We're going to say, okay, what you going to do? Like, show me how you going to do this. Are we going to have what are we gonna do to do this? Mm-hmm. So it's not. I don't think it'll be hard to convince us to say we're gonna do it throughout the year, and opposed to just 1 month. But it depends on how it's implemented. So, bruh, that's tough, bruh. That's tough, bruh. I think
I'm actually on the opposite side of you.
You don't think they should do it?
No.
I'm not saying that I'm not saying that they should do it. I'm saying that it wouldn't be hard to convince us that we deserve more than a month, because we do.
Oh yeah, we definitely do. It deserves to be discussed throughout the year.
Yeah, for sure. Without question.
African American history deserves to be discussed throughout the year.
For sure.
We shouldn't do it though, because the reason we shouldn't do it is because as soon as they take it away, again, we don't talk politics, but we know that they're trying to remove a lot of history dealing with other minorities in this country from schools.
I mean, look at Florida. Ron DeSantis took out everything. Like you can't even teach it in the school system no more in Florida.
And you have pockets of different states doing similar things. Mm-hmm. And so if you remove Black History Month, when does Black history get taught? To not just Black people, but in general. The reason that we did it is to let our people as well as other cultures know, we've done a lot. Yeah. We've contributed more than what you think we've contributed to this country. Mm-hmm. And so you take that out. When does it get taught? Let me ask you a question. I'll go a little bit further. How often do you? What other than? No, I don't. Do you know about any other Asian American history in this country? No,
not
you don't.
Really.
Do you know about any other than the small few, and I forgot most of it, Native American history? Do you know much about Native American history?
Not much.
No, you don't. So if you remove you move Black History Month away, and yes, we should be celebrated more than a month. If you remove Black History Month, when do we talk about?
And that's why I said it depends on how they implement the history and how they move forward.
They can sell us the dream, though.
Of course they can. Of course they can. Yeah. But again, our culture is such a proud culture. They're not going to let us take it away fully. We're not going to let them take it away, because if they take this month, we're going to just like most of the Black culture now. I will go so far as to say 99.99% of the Black culture now does not celebrate July 4th. We celebrate Juneteenth, and that just happened a few years back, right?
Right.
So we're not going to let them take our history away.
We celebrate both.
I don't. To be perfectly honest,
you might not feel as celebratory, but you celebrate both. I mean, I'm not that person. I celebrate both. I celebrate our independence as an American, because we are Americans, whether we don't like how the system treats us or not. We still are American. And then I celebrate the fact that our people are independent as well. I celebrate that. I'm
okay.
Work. I'm taking that day. You don't want to give me that day off? I'm taking that day anyway. But
for sure,
they give us a day too. But I'm just saying. So, I think we need to be that way. We need to celebrate both, because we are a part of this country. It doesn't treat, for the most part, the system doesn't treat us how we should be treated. But I mean, we still are American. We still have to have pride for this country as well as our people. That's why I don't really get upset when somebody says, "Well, my whatever." I think we all should be think that our race is good enough. We all should think our race is this and that. So
yeah. But it's just, if that happens, then the government gonna have to figure something out as to how they gonna implement that, because our people ain't gonna let you take that, bro. They're not gonna let you do it. They're not.
I understand what he was saying in theory, but the practice, how it's practiced and how it's executed, I don't think we should even think about.
I don't think we should touch it either. I don't think we should touch it either. But if they do, you got to do it right. Do it right.
Right.
But staying on the pop culture train, bro. I know we avoided talking about these people in the past because we didn't want to be too viral or hitting just what's hot right now and at the time. But, bro,
I feel like I already know where you're going. Because you said these two people.
Yes. What's going on with these women in blueface, bro? We got Krishan. Okay. Not that I don't want somebody to love me this much, because I do, but not somebody, this one person. Let me get that straight right now.
Because I don't want no
calls. I will. You will get a call, nigga. I won't get a call.
Well, I'm saying from you, saying, man,
listen, bro, I done fucked up. She know I didn't mean it like that, but this how. But anyway, not that I don't want her to love me that much, but this is crazy. I don't know what Blueface doing. But I'm gonna start with Krishan. Krishan already had the blue. I was about to say, she already had Blueface tatted on her neck and other front and center. Then she went so far as to get him on her face, nigga. That's just Krishan. Another girl. Let me get her name. Let me get her name real quick, because you probably seen this, D-Lo, but I'm gonna get her name real quick because
I just another saw girl, and when I saw that, I was like, man, I don't really follow. Even though he went to Fayetteville State, surprisingly, all the way from California, and played at Fayetteville State briefly. I don't follow Blueface.
He came to Fayetteville State for the blue.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm just playing. I don't know if that's why, but he was a football player. If y'all didn't know.
Yeah.
But another girl named Bonnie Lachey, tattooed.
Is that his baby mama? Or other baby?
I don't even think it's his baby. No, his other baby mama is some Stewie Griffin face looking bitch. But
oh, stop it!
Look her up. She look like Stewie
I know what she look like.
There you go. But it's another girl.
Brian.
You got my money, man. I want my money. But the real Bonnie Lachey on Instagram, if you want to look it up, she ended up getting Blueface's face tatted on her cheek, bruh. Not this cheek, this cheek. The butt cheek. Right. Not butt breaking, but butt. Not Oh, yeah. But she broke her butt in with a Blueface tattoo. So, bruh, I don't know what Blueface doing, but why are these women going crazy over this nigga? I don't personally understand it. I don't agree with a lot of the things he says and a lot of things he does and how he portrays himself. He's a rapper. I get it. He's a crip, gangbanger, whatever, but what is he doing, bro? Like, what special sauce did this nigga got, bro? What does he got going on, bro?
I don't know. I'm going to say I don't know, but you and I, thinking we were going to talk about them last year, did watch their Krishan and Blueface. Was it Crazy in Love or something like that? Crazy in
Love, yep. Mm-hmm.
And I can see is parts of him that you can see is humble at times, Agreed. Is logical, is a regular human being. Mm-hmm. Then there's parts of him that's like, bro, what are you doing? So I'm thinking like when these women get to know him, or whatever face he portrays to them initially, they fall in love with that and they become infatuated, and so their infatuation makes them crazy over him, do all kind of stuff, and then he portrays himself as this. I don't even know how to say what he portrays himself as. He's definitely a rapper. He definitely is a rapper with. He only got one hit song though. Was it Tatiana?
Bust Down Tatiana.
Yeah,
that's the only one I remember. And then he had the song with DDG with the Moonwalk in the Calabasas. That kind of went crazy, but that was more so because of DDG. But
right,
I don't know.
I don't know the lifestyle he portrays. True. He is a fast lifestyle. Most. I'm going to say most. We get in trouble for generalizing here a lot. Mm-hmm. Most younger girls, they get caught up in that fast life and looking for that type of guy. And so if it's a dude that is in that lifestyle and he kind of has a little bit of sense to him when you first meet him, I guess it could be easy to really become infatuated with him. And then so you'll do crazy things such as tattooing your face and your neck and his face on your face or your neck or your butt. I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, he obviously is doing something right. I don't know.
He got to be doing. I don't know, bro. But I do.
Or these women are mentally unstable.
Yeah, that could be it too. Because whenever I watched the Crazy in Love, I gained a little bit, and maybe it was just for the cameras. To be perfectly honest with you, maybe behind closed doors or off camera, he's a little bit different. But I gained a little bit of respect for Blueface in the sense of how he reacted to a lot of the things that Krishan was doing, and how he didn't necessarily raise his voice on the often, or how he tried to be logical and try to be a little bit more rational on the show. But when he get them Twitter fingers going, it's different. You know what I'm saying? Like he
it's like two personas.
Yeah, he's like he got a split personality or something, because he'll say this to Krishan, but then be on the internet on some other shit. So like, I don't know, bro. It's got to be something about Buddy to make these multiple women. Number one, two of them have babies. He got 3 kids. Mm-hmm. One of them looked like Charles Barkley, but we ain't gonna talk about it. And then he got another girl.
Wait a minute. Does she look like Stewie Griffin? Or
No. Talk about the baby. But I'm sorry.
Oh, come on, man. You can't talk about kids like that.
That's true. I'm sorry, can't. Lord. Don't make my baby come out looking like Charles Barkley if I haven't. Yeah. I so apologize. But you know, I'm okay. Never mind. But anyway, but then he got 2 of them with 3 kids, and then he got 2 of them that got tattoos of his literal face on him. One of them in multiple places, basically in the same area. Yeah. But damn, like, hey, if that's what some women like, that's what some women like.
The crazy thing is, in Krishan's instance, I started to think slightly different of her after she went on Cam Newton's podcast and he interviewed her. Mm-hmm. I saw the other side. I saw the other side of her, and I thought she was trying to turn the corner. And then I see this. I mean, it doesn't necessarily mean she still can't turn the corner. Yeah. But when I don't know. It's like like you said, I don't know what he's doing. It's like he's got a grip on whatever it is that they holding on to, and it makes them do crazy stuff. Because even the one that you said looked like Stewie Griffin, that baby mama, and Krishan. And Krishan, like, I forget what name is. He's done something so much to now, like, they're together all the time, and that's great. They have a good relationship. It can't draw no beef with.
I'm not gonna lie. Hold on. I googled Blueface baby mama, and the first thing that came up was Blueface baby mama Stewie. I swear, I lied to you. I lied to you not. The first thing that came up was Stewie Griffin. And her name is Jaden Alexis. That's her name.
Yes. Jaden Alexis.
Yeah. And when I tell you she looked like Stewie, she legit looked like Stewie, bro.
Well, but anyway, so like now they're like doing stuff together, calling Blueface at the same time and stuff. Mm-hmm. While they're together. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what he's doing, but
it got something going on, man. But shout out to Blueface, bro. I guess. Shout out to Blueface.
Shout out to Blueface. Mm-hmm. All right, so back to sports real quick.
Right quick. What's up?
Billionaire Peter Thiel. I don't know if you know who he is, but he was one of the co-founders of PayPal along with Elon Musk. And then he's been into a lot of different tech investments and whatnot.
Okay.
He's about to throw his money behind what's being dubbed the steroids on Olympics. And that's literally what it's going to be, is the Olympics where they allow athletes to openly dope and participate in, so using steroids and different type of performance enhancement drugs and participate in those games. He plans to, and this is like a preliminary filler, I guess, that came out a couple days ago or last week or something. He plans to release more details about it in April and promote the controversial concept in Paris. You think this is going to be successful if he's able to get it off the ground?
I think people will watch, honestly. I don't know how long I don't know how, I think people will watch in the beginning, but if it's not progressively better than people who don't dope, then it'll die off, because people are going to watch to see how much better these drugs make them than other people. Because you got stories about Marion Jones and Barry Bonds and Mike Piazza and all of these people who supposedly doped. right?
Mark
And
McGuire.
how they were head over heels better than everybody in their field. So that's what people are going to watch for. People are going to watch because they want to see, okay, I know these stories in the past about people who were doing so much better than people who didn't. Let me see how much better this makes them. Let me see if they're going to break Usain Bolt's record. Let's see if they're going to break any records in the Olympics by a large margin. And if it's not drastically different, people are going to stop watching. I think it'll be good for 1 or 2 years. But then after that, it's going to fizzle because people are going to watch to see how much better people are than the regular people. So I think it's a cool idea. Kinda. He's got to have some kind of contract that if these motherfuckers rage out, then y'all owe y'all own because it's going somebody gonna get hurt. I feel like just off the rage component of steroids, but I think it'll fizzle if it's not head over heels better than the regular Olympics.
I agree with you. I agree with you for a different reason. I think it'll be good initially because you will have. Well, okay, I agree with you, but I think it's 2 stipulations to it. I agree with you in the fact that if the individuals that are participating in these,
he called it enhanced games. That's what he's calling it.
Okay, if the individuals that are participating in these enhanced games can prove to continuously break records, but at some point in time, it's going to get to a point where we hit that wall as natural human beings and not cyborgs or anything like that. Which you scared of that. But that's another thing that's happening right now too. It's at some point in time we're going to hit that plateau, enhanced with drugs or not, where you can't get any faster, any stronger or whatnot. But if individuals can continually show that they can break records from what individuals that are natural athletes do, I think it will be successful. But if not, no, it's going to fizzle out. I also think it'll fizzle out because if you don't use performance enhancement drugs right, you tear your body up, and all these things start to happen to you internally, hormonally. I'm sure that's not a word, but I'm talking about the hormones.
That's a word. Hormonally is a word.
Okay, mentally, as well as physically, just your overall body, and so we love to attach ourselves. The thing that makes the Olympics great is, these are the world's greatest athletes, but most of them start at a younger age and we get to see them grow and progress. And so we're drawn to their story. Well, if you fizzle out after the first time that you do something, we can't attach ourselves to you. Yes, the feat is amazing that you did, but the next person coming in line is just gonna, we got to find somebody else to attach ourselves to attach ourselves to their story. So I think if the individuals that are participating in this can't participate longer than 4 years or whatever the case is, I can't 2 years. I don't know how it's going to be. The format's going to be. Is it going to be like the Olympics where it's every 4 years? Is it going to be a every year thing? I don't know. But I guess I just thought myself out of that because college, it happens. You have 4-year period for most, 5 years. Where people can get attached to you, but then you're gone. I don't know.
Most professional careers are 3 to 4 years, especially
but
in
you
NFL.
But you have those individuals that go past that you can attach yourself to. That maybe shouldn't have been there longer than 4 years, but somehow, some way they found a way to do it. So I don't know. I think it's interesting. That somebody wants to fund a sports event where individuals can enhance themselves using drugs, which is called doping. But when you think about it, natural athletes are going to be like, what? I think it depends. I think it depends on how much they get paid too. If a salary or money is involved.
Well, if it's true. If it's anything like the Olympics, though, it's got to be something that's going to be sponsored. I don't think Peter Thiel is going to actually pay these. He might, who knows? But we'll have to see about that. But just to put a bow on it a little bit, Hulk Hogan had a lawsuit against Gawker Media, which was the same thing, which was what he was kind of being sued for doping. And his attorney, whose name was Aaron DeSouza, he came out and said that Thiel sees the vision of a new model of sports that openly celebrates scientific innovation and honestly represents the use of performance enhancements in sports today. And he also went on to say, when 44% of athletes today are already using performance enhancements, it's time to safely celebrate science. That number to me is crazy. 44%? You think it's that many people that are using that's doping in sports?
I don't know. Maybe.
That number is crazy. 45%?
If you we had this conversation somewhat a while back
with LeBron, right?
So if we're saying that number, and then it's speculating, then that's almost half.
Almost half. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's crazy. 45% is a big number for him to say that people are already enhancing. So, I don't know.
Speculation, though.
Speculation, though. It is speculation. Yeah. But, I'm just reading his quote. But I'm like, 45 is a huge number to me. That is huge. But, yeah, man. But to stick with a little bit more of a sports topic, I have witnessed over the past couple of years the rise of Jalen Brunson in New York. Mm-hmm. And he has become an all-star, a all-NBA type player. But did you know, you might have known this, but did you know that Jalen Brunson was the National Player of the Year and won 2 national titles with Villanova?
And still went second round.
And still went to the second round. So I had to go back and look at this, man. And I had to look at the draft for 2018 when he was drafted number 33 in the second round. So he wasn't far out of the second. There's 30 picks in each round. He wasn't far out of the second, but he was still second round. But I had to go back and look. This draft was dominated by big men. Mm-hmm. So in the top 10, you had DeAndre Ayton, Marvin Bagley. Luka wasn't necessarily a big man, but he was a 6'7", 6'8" point guard that could play a lot of different positions. Jaren Jackson, Mo Bamba, Wendell Carter, Mikal Bridges. Like, that's 7 people who played power forward, small forward.
You said Luka Doncic?
Luka was number 3.
Okay.
He went to Atlanta, but then traded. Trae Young was in that. He was number 5.
Yeah.
But you had 7 big men in the top 10 in the lottery. I think the lottery is top 15, I think?
15.
Yeah. So, but if you want to go down to
15, 10 or 15, one or two.
If you want to go down to 15, you still have MPJ in there, who was more so a small forward, power forward. So Troy Brown Jr. So like, you had a lot of big men. So this joint was dominated by big men. So I could kind of see how, even though he was National Player of the Year and won 2 national championships, I believe that he might have been somebody who probably should have went first round. Maybe even Trae Young had that buzz around him, though. Luka was a baller overseas, and Colin Sexton had that buzz around him too at Alabama. So, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was going crazy in Kentucky because he was drafted number 11. But Jalen Brunson was a baller, though.
How tall is Jalen Brunson?
Jalen Brunson, I want to say, is 6'2",
like
6'3". Yeah, 6'2", 6'3". Yeah. I'm going to have to look. Matter of fact, I can look right here and just click on his name. He is 6'2".
Yeah.
6'2". But Trae Young, 6'2". Not even 6'2", I don't think. 6 foot,
but maybe? Trae Young is known as a shooter.
6 foot.
I don't even.
True. Yeah, he's known as a shooter.
And they were looking at Trae Young in that Steph Curry mode.
Steph Curry.
Whereas Jalen Brunson, was he? I don't follow college basketball like that until March Madness, and then even in the last couple of years, I haven't been following it like that. So what was Jalen Brunson considered? Was he considered a scoring guard? What was he considered? I'm sure he wasn't considered a shooter because he would have went up.
He was considered more of a facilitator in college.
Okay.
But even at Villanova, though, he was still going crazy, like averaging 20 points a game, like 7, 8 assists. Like, he was still going wild.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things where.
When did he leave?
He left. When did he leave Villanova?
He had 2 championships, so he had to be at least a junior.
I think he was a junior or senior. Let me see. Let me see. Jalen Brunson was. He left after he was a senior.
So that's probably why he went in the second round. Because
the younger you are, the more potential that you might have, or the higher your ceiling might be a little bit. So
no, the younger you are, the higher your ceiling, the potential of your ceiling is. Right. And then also in the era of one and done, if they feel like you could have went, you're an NBA player, you could leave early, you know what I mean? And so even though he was, because I believe he was like in the article or the Instagram post that I saw, I think it said he was like a dominant player in high school, also was player of the year in his state or something like that, won high school championships also, and then goes to Villanova, 2 championships, national player of the year, still won second round. So I mean, that could be the reason why he went second round with all those accolades that came behind him, is because he stayed into his senior year. And as bad as that sounds, because that does, to me, that sounds kind of bad. You're penalizing somebody for staying in school. But we're in the era of the NBA is really young, man.
It is.
When you think about it, I think the average age is 24 for the NBA. And so that means like there are no real vets in the NFL in the NBA, because like LeBron's the oldest, obviously he's damn near 40, but after that, what's you have the sprinkled in there, Kevin Durant, Stephen Curry, Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, so on and so forth. But then after that, it's a young league, man. So
it's a very young league, man. But I mean, getting back to the draft though, you even asked about, Trae Young, who is a 6-foot guard. Colin Sexton is around the same height. No, he actually is about 6'3". Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, 6'6". So of course, Luka Doncic, 6'6" or 6'7".
Yeah.
So these point guards, especially Luka, who is exploding, like probably the next face of the league.
73 points.
73.
Larry Bird, I think.
yeah, basically. But you would think, because how many? I'm gonna have to go back and look, because I didn't research it that much because it was supposed to be one of our quick topics. But how many National Player of the Years didn't go in the first round? That's what I want to know. How many National Player of the Years and national champions didn't go in the first round of the playoff? First round of the draft.
That's a great question. I don't know.
I'm not gonna go through that research right now, but it was just. What you got?
Nothing. I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know, because I don't really follow college basketball like that. I guess I should start, but when we were younger, maybe I don't know. That's a great question. Probably none, honestly.
Oh man, I think all of these people went first round, because they go back all the way back to 1957. I ain't gonna go that far.
Yeah,
back. But I'm gonna say I'm gonna start with the 2000s. Shane Battier, first round draft.
Yes.
Jason Williams, first round draft pick. TJ Ford, first round draft pick. Jameer Nesson, first round draft pick. JJ Redick, first round draft pick. Kevin Durant, of course. Tyler Hansbrough, of course. Blake Griffin, Evan Turner, Jimmy Fredette, Anthony Davis, Victor Oladipo. Like, all of these people went first round, if not first pick. So but was he the first to not? Like, hello?
Yeah.
Jalen
I think
Brunson,
it's just the era that we're in, bro.
It might be, man, because the NBA is getting taller, and they're getting taller with people who have more skill. So it's
truly becoming positionless.
100%. So I agree, man. But it was a weird story to me when I saw it come across my feed on Instagram. I was like, dang, is that true? So I looked it up. I was like, damn. National Player of the Year his senior year, national championship, and did not get drafted in the first round. But whenever you got more buzz, more hype than somebody else, then maybe you, like D-Lo said, if you come out of high school thinking, if somebody think you can come out of high school and go to the league and you one and done, they gonna pick you up. You got that persona, that buzz about you in high school, then you're gonna get that buzz about you in college and when the draft come around. So yeah, man, it was just a crazy story.
One last thing, we could wrap up the show. that I saw. I don't want to talk about it. I just want to throw this stat at you, especially with us talking about Saban 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
Do you know there's never been an Alabama player to score a touchdown in the Super Bowl?
Never?
Never. It's been a player to throw a touchdown, but that doesn't count as being a touchdown scored by that person.
Say, didn't Jalen Hurts just do that? But he came from Oklahoma though. But he was at
Alabama. He did score. Well, what I saw. So you're right. Now that you say that, you're right. Jalen Hurts did score a touchdown last year.
Yeah,
a running touchdown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He came from Oklahoma though. So
that's right. He graduated from Oklahoma.
And graduated from Oklahoma.
Damn, good catch. Yeah. So yeah.
That's crazy. That's crazy to think, bro, because they got so many NFL players and running backs at that.
Yeah, and running backs at that. Exactly. That's crazy.
That's insane. They quarterbacks most of the time didn't never pan out for real. Damn, but Jalen didn't graduate from Alabama. I keep bringing up Jalen.
Yeah,
it's a big.
Well, you got Mac Jones who's still there.
Mac Jones is still there.
Tua is still there. I mean, Mike Jones might be on his way out, but you got Tua, Mac Jones. It was nope. That was it. No. Jalen was. Yeah, we keep talking about Jalen. Jalen was just a part of that group.
He was a part of that group. Yeah, he graduated from Oklahoma, so that he came from Oklahoma. So that ain't it. So damn, that's a crazy right? stat. How many national championships that Nick Saban led these teams to, and how many draft picks he's had over his tenure? Nobody has scored a touchdown in the Super Bowl. That's insane.
That's crazy.
That's a crazy stat. That's a good stat to end the show off on, D-Lo. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
But anyway, man, it's episode 54. 54.
Yeah, 54.
54. We creeping up there with the episodes, bro.
We are creeping up there, man. We definitely are, bro.
Becoming vets in the game. People gotta start following us.
And we only getting better. Only getting better. Like fine wine better with time, big dog.
Yeah. But I mean, we still babies in it though.
For sure.
Still babies in the grand scheme of it. Anyway, that's a wrap. We want to thank you all for tuning in to Too Complex. As always, remember life is short and oftentimes complex, but when it becomes complex, too complex, that is, don't be afraid to lean on those that you love to help you find simplicity and balance in life. Stay prayed up in this crazy world. A few requests thrown above can return peace and sanity. Thanks for loving us and supporting this podcast. It means the world to us. We're sending our love right back to you. Don't forget to subscribe on whatever podcast platform you listen to, and follow us on all of our social media platforms, YouTube, Instagram, Threads, and TikTok, who lost their media rights with Universal. We can talk about that next week.
For sure.
But, always remember that if it ain't too complex, it ain't complex at all. With that being said, until next time, we'll see you when we see you. Salute.